Hey, love and lovelies. I just wanted to take the time to address one of the questions that's been asked on one of the videos. And this question was in regards to my personal testimony as an individual who lives just outside of ground zero of one of the largest contaminations our country has seen, called VERTAC. This particular Superfund site is because of the fact that our government was producing Agent Orange at one time, without getting into its technical name. And within Agent Orange and the production of it, dioxin is created. Now, this is a persistent organic pollutant that directly breaks and mutates the roadmap to life. It completely rewires people's DNA. And as I colloquially say, I'm just a X-Men mutant, okay? But they asked if the community was supported. And the short answer is yes and no. My community fought on several occasions attempting to get some sort of support when it comes to the results and effects of that contamination and its impact on our community. The government bankrupted these families several times until the last suit, and only some of the families were awarded, even though it was so bad that the government put out a notification to everybody to not eat any fish or game in a 150-mile radius for the next 50 years. Yeah. So in the proceedings of this case, there was legal standing that was defined, or the people who are legally allowed to get that support. And they named our neighborhood some interesting things like East End, even though that's definitely not what any of our neighborhoods or some subdivisions are called. And the legal standing for the East End neighborhood ended, it stopped one street away from my family's. And so even though my grandmother was one of the first people to develop melanoma in the eye, develop melanoma basically in her brain, even though my grandmother was shipped off to DC and they plucked her eyeball out, they studied her, did all kinds of stuff. Even though my grandmother and all of the testings that she went through now supports people battling cancer now, right? Even though my aunts all have different autoimmune conditions, aunts and mom, be it Graves' disease, Hashimoto's, amyloidosis, be it weird blood conditions, be it cousins who literally have degenerative bone and muscle conditions, cousins who had full hip replacements before they could legally drink. We have not been supported. It is what it is, you know? And unfortunately, this contamination impacts all of us. Because unfortunately, Jacksonville is part of the Little Rock metro area, which is strongly connected to the Arkansas River, which is directly connected to the Mississippi. and all of the hydrophobic contamination went straight to the Gulf. And so now they literally test levels of dioxin in all of the seafood. Dioxin is a major issue that ultimately causes a higher rate of cancer, neurological conditions, as well as reproductive conditions as well. All of which we've seen a huge spike, oddly enough, over the past couple of decades. So I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. I want you guys to see the strength that it takes for a person like me to stand up and to step out. Personally, I found out about 2 years ago that I have a neurodegenerative disease that's very rare, that attacks my autonomic nervous system. So all of the things that most people take for granted, like your heart beating and your lungs taking breath and, you know, all of that fun stuff. Being able to control your body. And this condition negatively impacted my